back.
I've never been in a throuple, and while I'm open to it, ladies, I imagine that it would be quite a complicated situation. 2 women, 1 man would be a logistical nightmare that requires immense mental fortitude, while 2 men, 1 woman would necessitate a lot of Eiffel Towering and homoerotic exploration.
Right.
The latter is relevant because I just watched Challengers, the latest film from Italian auteur, and yes, I think he's earned that title. Luca, I can't pronounce his name, is it Guadagnino? Set in the world of elite tennis, we follow 3 athletes from when they were teenagers dominating the junior division through to their early 30s where each is at a crossroads in their life. There's Art Donaldson, the most successful of the trio, played by Mike Face, who is all puppy dog eyes and passive-aggressive behaviour. He's won several championships, but has failed to ever win a US Open title, even in his junior years, and this haunts him. His rival on and off the court, but also his would-be lover under different circumstances, Patrick Zweig, is a showboating, cocky player who has failed to live up to his potential, played by Josh O'Connor. He beat Donaldson in the junior US Opens, and has since failed to achieve anything of substance, living in his car and bumming around Challenger tournaments for a bit of money and a shot at entry into major tournaments. Finally, there's Tashi Duncan, played by Zendaya, who is the most promising of the 3 tennis players in her youth and is a dominant force in all areas of her life. She unfortunately suffered a career-ending injury in her early 20s and now works as Donaldson's coach, business manager, and wife. Donaldson is struggling to compete at the high level being a pro demands, and so Tashi sets him up as a wild card in a challenger tournament in New Rochelle, New York. Donaldson is expected to win easily and build up his confidence by beating low-ranking players before he moves into the US Open. The spanner in the works is that Zweig is there, and when they meet in the finals it brings up all manner of secrets, memories, and long-ignored desires. Challengers starts with the characters in their 30s and then slowly flashbacks to their teens and 20s, and as such is structured much like a mystery film. The flashbacks are used to flesh out character motivations and reveal new details which change our perception of each character at key moments in time. Donaldson appears cute and socially awkward, but is really conniving and prone to using his innocent demeanor for malicious ends. Tashi appears to be a ball buster, but we soon learn what's best for Donaldson and Zweig and carries with her immense emotional pain. Zweig appears to be entirely self-absorbed, yet also possesses a deep reservoir of love for Donaldson and Tashi. This is great writing as we slowly discover more and more about the trio, which helps us to better understand their behavior at the finals of the Challenger. That's the last time I'll do that, I promise. Now, one of the first things which stood out to me was just how good of an actor Zendaya is. Her performance was phenomenal, and of all the MJ playing tennis films out there, 3 to be exact, Zendaya leaps to the top as having delivered the finest work of the lot. I do still think Wimbledon is an underrated rom-com though. Her role as Tashi should see her elevated well and truly out of the Disney MCU mold into a position where she's regarded as a strong actor in her own right. Her work was also the most interesting of all the actors in the film, though Feist and O'Connor both deliver beautiful performances. The second strength is how Luca crafts the tennis sequences on and off the court, for as Tashi says, everything is about tennis, with the energy of a disco full of pulsing techno music that cuts in on dialogue sequences to tell you when a match has begun. It's very exhilarating work from Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross and helps emphasize the sexuality and competition inherent to a conversation or hitting a ball over the net. The music helps you to imagine the dance between 2 characters within the love triangle and was a real highlight for me. The first weakness though, as I've just mentioned, is how on the nose some of the writing is. Tashi literally explains that a tennis game is like a relationship and that real tennis occurs when both players become one on the court as though they're having good sex. It doesn't take a genius to hear that in the first act and whisper to your girlfriend, spouse, best friend, you know, in the third act this is going to be relevant when Donaldson and Zweig play. It's obvious and it's lame, and it applies to the third act as well as numerous scenes between all 3 characters, but best just to see the movie for those examples. The second weakness, especially given the marketing for this film, is that the sensual elements weren't very strong. At no point did I feel a tremendous sexual tension, and personally I think it largely stemmed from the fact that I didn't find any of the actors attractive. Even Zendaya is quite average looking in my opinion, though she does have a
great ass! Yes!
I readily admit it, so credit where credit is due. But that's just not enough if you're trying to push sensuality in your film. All up, Challengers is a fantastic film with a few little slip-ups, and I do highly recommend you go check it out if you enjoy independent films. Thanks for watching.
Challengers.
Good night.